getting himself recognized and doing the right things. He used to play for King Faisal Football Club. Then he went out there. One of the very educated Ghanaian footballers. And those are the things I like about those educated ones. I mean, yes, they have a different purpose. Yeah, I'm not saying those who didn't go to school are not, When you see them, you see them. Look at him. You look at someone like Augustine Ahemfo. When you see those characters, you see them. So he's gunning for that. I'll introduce him to you. But meantime, the Champions League group stages have been done. The draw has been done. Group A, USM Algiers in Algeria, who played Joliba of Mali. Olympic Club Safi from Morocco, and FC San Pedro from Ivory Coast. Not just say there's a Moroccan team somewhere in there. Hey, and then the Ghanaian team. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, so these are the group stages of the CAF Champions League. But you know what? Let me get to my guest first. When we finish, we'll come back into the studio and then we would have that conversation with him. Good evening, Yusif Chibsah.
Good evening, Uncle Fiifi.
How are you doing?
Not bad at all.
Great. This is what? Esperance?
Yes, Esperance.
Okay, Esperance. After
Kwame
Bonsu. Okay. You manage him?
Yes.
Okay. I hear you're a very rich man now.
Oh, we thank God.
But I hope you're good. We've been trying to get you a couple of times, but we know your schedule is also tight. We also know your schedule is tight, so it's difficult to get you. So we're actually privileged to get you today, and we are thankful that you are here. Now, to start off this conversation, I just made a prophecy that when they become GFA president, is it something you have thought about before?
Not really, but a few people, just as you said, have actually hinted me to look at that direction if I don't have that in mind. Personally, I have not thought about that yet.
But it's something you would one day consider, don't you?
Let's see. Time will tell.
Because you're a football person. I mean, through and through. So, I mean, it doesn't change that. Now you have a management team that manages a lot of, or sees to help a lot of our young players. How many players are under your watch now?
As my consultancy or
under
PFG? In and out, about 25.
About 25?
Yeah.
And some of them are playing. So Kwame Bonsu is one.
Yeah.
He's playing in Tunisia.
He's now in UAE.
He's now in the UAE. Yeah. Okay. So you do the identification yourself?
Yes.
Scouting?
I do most of the scouting myself, but some also are based on recommendations from my clients.
Okay.
So maybe a player that I manage will introduce his friend or somebody that he knows or a playmate. But most of the scouting locally, I have local scouts, which they are undisclosed, actually. So I have scouts that do scouting for me, and then I do the final confirmation myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear to manage footballers, I mean, it's not a simple thing like that. I mean, how have you managed to do that?
It's extremely difficult, but I think you should have the passion first. The passion is what drives us. Some of the characters are extremely difficult to handle. And I mean, there's a common saying that footballers are ungrateful. You see some of them.
Is that true?
Yes, some. I mean, we cannot rule it out completely, and we cannot entirely say all of them.
Right.
Yeah, some are ungrateful, just as human as we are. So it's extremely difficult because you have a mix of characters, different characters, and you need to manage each of them the way you achieve your end results. So from my consultants, we usually have a career pathway. Each player and the direction that he needs to go. You look at his style of play, you look at his strength against his weaknesses, and then you decide which league will favor him. Yeah, so not all good players or talented players are able to take the next step depending on where you take them. So let's say if I have a player and he has about 4 or 5 interests from different countries and different leagues, I have to weigh his strength against his weaknesses and then decide on which of the leagues will benefit him, which of them will assist or make it easier for him to get onto the next step. Because as a footballer, you're as good as when you play. No matter how good you are, if you're on the bench, I mean, then you are not good enough or you are not able to showcase your talent. It's just like a tomato seller. No matter how beautiful your tomatoes is, you cannot keep it in your home. You have to showcase it into the market. So a player is as good as when he plays. So if you have the talent, you are very good, and you make a decision to a club where you will not be getting enough playing time, then you are not good enough. And that is not a good decision enough. So most of the times I factor all this into the decision making, choosing the next step for any player. That I'll give you just one example.
Right.
Usually I don't like mentioning names.
Yeah.
We are educating, so sometimes we need to put up practical examples.
Right.
I have a client called Zubair Ibrahim. I scouted him right from Coast Football. Then we took him to King Faisal, and he was able to make the mark. He was the captain of the U20s. Then at a point, I took him to a second league club in Serbia. I had a lot of backslash from people that captain of U20, why did I take him to a second league club in Serbia? But just after 1.5 years, he's playing the Champions League. He's playing in the Europa League. And his value now is about 7 to 10 million pounds. So you see, so these are some of the reasons that we had interest from mainstream European clubs, but we realized that could not help the boy to develop faster. He should go to where he will have playing time because he has quality. He has quality, no doubt. But that quality can only be seen when he plays week in, week out. And that's exactly what we did. His first season with the second league club, he joined them halfway. So the first season, the half season, he scored 9 goals, 6 assists. And then the second season, he scored 14 goals.
That's some good returns.
Then Partizan bought him.
Okay.
Straight away. So after 1.5 season, he was playing for Partizan. He was playing the Champions League. It was rather unfortunate that he got injured last season. He would have been in the Premier League by now. So these are some of the factors that we don't only follow the money. Money is good, to be very honest. But then you look at the age of the player, you look at how many years he has in front of him, then you make the necessary step that will help him to achieve the long-term goal.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things. So some of the characters, you need to educate them. Otherwise, he doesn't understand why I have Team A who is offering me 1 million and Team B who is offering me 200,000 or 400,000. And you are pushing me to go to 200,000 or 400,000. Yeah. Sometimes you need to educate them to explain why you are making such decisions. And mostly, I involve my players in my decision making. Even when I'm negotiating, they sit right behind me.
Okay.
I remember when I was managing Majid Waris. He doesn't want to be in the negotiations, but every time I force him to be there because you should know how much you are making, how much my commission is, so that there's this common notion that agents or managers usually take money from players. You know? So you should know all these things so that you don't go out there with any
wrong
false information or
Yeah.
somebody else do not come to you to say this and that and that and that. So these are all factors that we do consider.
It's good because, previously you'd always have some foreign people managing our players for us and all that. But now at least people like Oliver Arthur, yourself, and I'm sure there are a couple more.
Yes, Omar and his brother.
Yes,
Abi, they're doing very well. And we have one another Ghanaian who is based in UK, Tony Appiah, is also doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. That's very good. Okay, so now let's come back home. I mean, because you're wearing the Esperance, let me ask you, we're going into the World Cup though, but this is Africa. Now, do you think that the gulf between Ghana, our league, and what pertains in other countries, especially in the North Africa, can ever be breached?
Yes, because...
And how long will it take us to breach that?
Exactly, that is the question. Yes, it can, because nothing is impossible. But as to how long, I think we have a very long way to go. To be very honest, we have a very long way to go, but not that much. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. until we take the necessary step, then the gap keeps widening up. So for me, I think our major problem here has been the welfare of our players. Anytime I mention this, people think it's because I work for the PFAG. That is, but it is the most important problem that needs to be solved. When that problem is solved, we are going to reduce the rate at which our players leave our league. You know, I always applaud our technical handlers here. Every season, a player emerges from our league. There hasn't been a single year where a player has not been transferred from Ghana. That tells you that our technical handlers are doing their best. Talents are emerging now and then. But then, what are we also doing to be able to maintain those talents here for a certain number of years to get them really ready and matured to move out? I'll give an example of Zubeiru. If Zubeiru had been in the league for a couple of years, maybe we wouldn't have gone to a second league club. You understand?
Yeah.
But because he hasn't been in the league for so many years, and I feel he's not that matured to take that step to a major first league club, it's better he goes to a second league club since it is his entry into Europe. For him to adapt language, weather, and all those factors, it's better you go to a club where you have playing time. You use that as the adaptation period. And then when you join a major league club, you blow. It's exactly what we need to do here. So I think we need to start taking the welfare of our players very, very seriously. We need to respect our players, Fiifi. Respect is not only about money, and welfare is not only about money. But we have most of our club owners, CEOs, and managers here who do not accord their players the maximum respect.
Why?
I don't know why. Because they think that they are doing them a favor. So, I mean, Buana, and you should infringe upon his right. They've also got their right. We need to accord them the maximum respect. Even though salaries are not coming on time, we should have good words to console them. But you see, some of these the managers and administrators and CEOs do not even explain to the players why their monies are not coming. You understand? So it's a huge problem that needs to be solved. We commend the current and government for his involvement in the administration of our sports. I think they are pumping in some money through the FA. The FA is also doing well. Now we have the standard contract. We have the minimum wage, which is expected to roll out from next year. I think it's a step in the right direction, which will also help. But one thing we need to do is the FA needs to take control of the distribution of that money. If it is meant for player salaries, they have to make sure that players are paid on time. Otherwise, this money should be distributed to the clubs, and yet still we'll have players going as long as 3, 4, 5 months without salary. And that is very, very bad.
If you look at the way we have run our football over the years, one would say that back in the day when there was no technology, I mean, the era of maybe from, even if not go too far, from Nana Butler and co, there was no technology that much. I mean, you know, all the way down. Now that there's technology, we're rather declining.
Yes, because we are not using the technology to our advantage. We are not using it as it's expected to be used. Other countries, I wouldn't say Europe, because there are other African countries who are using technology to their benefit.
What is South Africa doing that we are not doing?
It's a lot. It's a lot. We need to invest in the game, Fiifi. Football...
Is it all about just money?
Not only money. It's not only about money. I said it earlier on. It's not only about money. But the money is also paramount. Because whatever you want to do, you need money. But then you need the personnel as well. You need the qualified personnel to man whichever positions or portfolios that you create. So let's say if you have a club, South Africa, like as you said, they have a lot of portfolios that are managing whichever departments they are creating. We need to do same here. Here, I think most of our appointments are based on friends and families and who you know. We create jobs for people around us. Those people might not necessarily have the necessary qualifications to handle those positions. This is one of the areas that we are lacking. So we need to make sure that we put the round peg in the round hole, not a square peg in a round hole. Then we are not getting the results that needed to be achieved. So it's a huge problem.
What is the PFAG's position on how to bridge that gap?
Well, we think the welfare of players needs to be taken seriously. As payment of salaries, I mean, we've discussed and agreed on the minimum wage, which is not too much, but at least it's an amount that clubs can afford, and that will also cushion the financial burden of players, so that they wouldn't go a whole month or 2 months without having food to eat. Some of these players have family. They have kids that are attending school, and then if you should be earning 1,000 cedis or less than 1,000 cedis, and for 3, 4, 5 months, the money is not coming. It's a huge problem. How do you expect him to go to train? Football, you need energy. You need a lot of energy to play football. And if the energy is not coming, you cannot give out your best. And that is why you see talented players, but they are not giving out results because the form is deepened. And that is what we need to look at. We need to make sure our players are well taken care of. During my days with Kotoko, I always use myself to give an example. We used to attract interest from North African countries because we've always been engaging them in the continental championship.
Yes.
But then Nana Bantumahene, he was the chairman of the IMC at that time.
Yes.
He will ask you,
Sylvester.
yes, Okoyedian war Algeria, Okoyedian war Libya, Okoyedian war Tunisia and Morocco. But we don't question him much because we are comfortable here. If we were not comfortable, we will challenge him.
Yeah.
We will push our way out. You understand? But for the fact that we were okay, he was taking very good care of us, we don't ask for our salaries. Right on time they pay. It goes into everybody's account. Some matches, winning bonuses are paid in advance to us. He will tell you, match, we mean here 3 points. He will pay winning bonuses. And motivations from the supporters and other management members and board members was huge. I remember when I come to Accra, the late Fiifi, if he gets to know me in Accra, he will give me a call. What are you here to do? How many days are you spending? Okay, meet me here. He'll give me money. Right after what you're doing, go back to Kumasi. So they make life around football easy for you. So your attention and your focus is only on the game. And then why won't you give out your best? No player will intentionally, wouldn't want to perform. But you see, there are certain factors that brings out your performance. You should eat well, you should have good sleep, and you shouldn't think much. So if a footballer has to think about school fees, he has to think about food for his family, no matter how willing he wants to give his best, he can never give out his best. So these are some of the areas. Let's help these players solve most of their problems. Let's make them feel a bit comfortable so that they can also give out their best. For the fact that every season players emerge from our league means that there's a lot of talent.
What's your take on this chicken and egg situation where, in the case of, let's say, Albert Amoa, going to Libya, there was a lot of talk that, look, he's the one who is shining for Kotoko, just 6 games into the league, and all of a sudden, Kotoko has to sell him. And then, so even in the game against WAC of Morocco, he didn't pull out his very best because he knew he was on his way out. What's your take on a player, who's heard that there's a contract out there, I need to go, and you're also asking him to stay in Kotoko. Kotoko also needs the money, to support. The boy also needs money for his family and himself. How do you manage such a situation?
Yeah, so in this situation, in Abel's situation, if I understand you very well, I don't have facts from the players' camp or from the club's camp. But then, from what I'm hearing, both player and club agreed to the terms. Kotoko needs money. The player also feels that it's time for him to leave. So it's fine. But coming to the sporting reasons, it's not good for the club and for the team as well, because I think this is 2nd year with Kotoko, right? And he's been doing so well. I mean, he's the talisman of the team. And so in other situations or in other areas, what Kotoko should have done is try to renew his contract, try to make sure he's comfortable here. That means give him more money or give him more bonuses.
They couldn't match the offer that came.
They couldn't. They couldn't. And the boy, it was a very tough decision for him to accept the offer from Libya. But it all boils down to the terms and conditions, not only the money, but then the terms and conditions around it. And in this case, Kotoko also needs money. They need to run their club. So these are areas that we need to pay critical attention to.
So then how do we now think that we can have leagues where the players will stay in for 2-3 years and build a league and build their own personality and profiles when such offers do appear. Because I've seen it before where Jorginho's time, when Joachiri, there was a deal for Zamalek, for him to go to Zamalek in Egypt, and Jorginho said he wouldn't let him go. There was a bus full of family members who had come to the stadium to see Jorginho, to say, look, Joe and Kwai Bebre, so they have to allow him to go. How do you, in terms of blending this?
We just have to invest in our sport. We just have to pump in more money and make sure that those investments or those monies go into the right course. I think the current government is doing very well. Last year, even when the league, or last 2 years when the league had sponsors, I think the money that they got from the sponsors was $30,000 each club. But this year, we've seen the sub-production through government giving out 1 million Ghana cedi to each club. So that is a plus. But this money needs to go into right courses. That's what I'm saying, that we need to make sure the players, government is doing this for the fact that the national team comprises of individual players from different clubs. This is why government is also pumping in money, because when the players are good, our national team will be good, and then Ghana at the end of the day benefits. We've qualified for the World Cup. We all know how much money it's coming in. So it is not an investment that is going to go waste. If it is being managed very, very well, sometimes it's not about the capital, but it's about how you manage the investment. That is the most important. So no matter how much money government or any corporate body pumps into the sport, if the management is not handled very well, it will go down the drain.
How do you feel that corporate Ghana, sometimes struggles to put money into football because the transparency issues are quite enormous to the extent that sometimes people are able to even predict the match that this is going to happen, this will happen. Referees are bought here and there, left and right. How do we sanitize these? Because that's the main reason why corporate is not coming into it.
You are right, because the product has been dented so many times. And it's not only rumors, but there are facts sometimes to back it up. As you said, sometimes people do give score lines, and it does happen.
It happens.
So this is a major problem. I think one way, I have lived in Europe for quite some time, and I think what makes us or people in Europe more disciplined are the severe sanctions that one faces when he goes wrong. And I think it's time we need to introduce the same thing here. But it becomes a bit difficult when there's a compromise or people that are expected to take that decisions are not willing to do it. So I think we have to make sure that any referee that is found guilty of any more practices should be dealt with severely. He should be punished. And that will send a note of caution to the rest. But if the sanctions or the cautions are not coming, and obviously and definitely repetition will happen. So we need to make sure that we will sanitize the industry with severe punishment. That is one. And club owners should also make sure that they take good care of their players. Personally, I feel if our games could be taken off all betting platforms, it will also be a very good an idea to make sure that these betting issues that are... Ghanaians, some fans will disagree, but then if you love betting, you should go bet on the foreign games.
What if... because if the foreign games are also taken off the betting platforms, then it means that...
No, it will be difficult for the foreign games to do that, because we seldom see or hear this kind of stories that we hear. It's difficult for you to hear that a foreign game will end up in the scoreline 4-3, and it's going to happen.
It happens in Turkey a lot.
Well, so maybe in Turkey...
In recent times, a lot of their referees have been found culpable because they've been compromised, betting. Somebody was
and they've been dealt with
18,000 times, betting 18,000. Top referee.
So they should be dealt with. I'm not ruling out Europe entirely. But if, for example, what you just said, there are facts and it's happening, they should be dealt with. And if their games will be taken off betting platforms, it's a good sign. For me, I think our games should be taken off betting platform for some time until we feel that we've been able to get things under order and proper regulations are put in place to make sure that players and officials of the game are not permitted to bet.
Inko Joseph sends this message. He says, talking about the welfare of players, Yusif Chibsah has been very instrumental in making sure that clubs pay SNAIT contributions for the players. It's not something you have been doing.
Yeah. We've been in touch with him because he's the staff of SNAIT.
Of SNAIT, yeah.
Actually, it was part of the details that we captured in the standard contract.
Okay.
But it's mandatory for every player to have a SNAIT number mentioned in his contract, so that we make sure that the clubs pay their SNAIT contributions.
Okay, well, that's a very useful and thoughtful procedure, because then eventually when they go on pension, because their careers are short.
Exactly.
You know, they have very short careers, maximum 10 years they are done.
Yeah. And
so,
even within the 10 years, if you are fortunate to rule, you can only rule for 3-4 years.
Consistently.
Exactly.
Unless you are a Ronaldo
or Messi. Exactly. Or Asamoah Gyan.
Also Asamoah Gyan, obviously. Okay.
So it's really tough. And this is why we advise the players as well that they have to take very good care of their money. I mean, you don't have to waste the money as and when it comes, feeling that it's going to be like that for the next 10 years. Now, sometimes injuries will cut short your career.
Yeah.
Sometimes you meet a coach who will never like you, and then that will also affect your career. So you need to make hay whilst the sun shines.
How do you feel about players who made it big and have either gone off through injury or retired and are struggling to make a living?
Yeah, I think it's a huge setback. It's a huge problem. It's a problem because, as you said, they've seen money, they've seen huge sums of money before, and then due to one or two reasons, things are not really happening. Not all of them misuse their money. Some actually invested well,
wrongly,
but then they did not manage the investment very well. Like I always say, it's not about your capital, but it's about how well you manage your investment. If you pump in $1 million into an investment and you lose the managerial part of it, that $1 million would drain to zero. But if you invest $100 into an investment and you put up a proper management team, that $100 investment could grow up to $1 million.
Yeah.
So the focal point, or the most important point for me, is the management of your investment. It doesn't matter how much money you put into an investment. If I can tell you an investment that I did, and if I mention the amount of money I started with and where I am today, you'll be shocked. So I always advise players to pay attention to the managerial part of their businesses, of their investment. If you are going to invest into an industry that you have no technical knowledge about, get professionals who have the technical know-how of it, employ them, pay them well, let them manage the business for you, so that if they fail, I mean, you can hold people responsible. But most of us, because we want to create employment for families and friends who have been with us through the tough times, most of these friends and families let us down. And when they do let us down, you cannot hold them responsible, because then it's about family, it's about friends. But it's high time we need to, if you want to help a friend, set him up. Brother, you've been there for me since beginning. This is 100 cities. This is 200 cities. Start something on your own. Manage your business professionally. Find people who have the technical know-how. Let them handle your business for you. I think this is the best way. I have colleagues and friends who did the right investment, but then it was entrusted into the hands of families and friends. And today, all those investments have gone down the drain.
Wow.
So it's very, very important. The management aspect of your investment is key. It's even more than how much money you pump into the investment.
Is it part of the PFAG's KPIs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, we do advise players to be doing that. We have something we call the Life After Football Fund, which we've been encouraging players to try contributing into it themselves. It's for their own good.
Okay. How are you guys supporting old players, aged players who are struggling health-wise and all of that? How are you guys supporting them?
We've been supporting a lot of players that have been in such situations through individual contributions from our members. I mean, we've done a lot. Abu, the late, what's his name? Is he Abu Abed Pele's?
John Abu Alhassan.
Not Abu Alhassan. He played with Abedipe at
Abu Moro.
Abu Moro.
Okay.
We helped a lot with his treatment. Rambo, we've been helping. I don't want to mention this, but we've done a lot of assistance to a lot of players. Recently, the late Kofi Nimo, who were there, my general secretary actually instructed me to go. So we picked him up from the hospital at Tema, Michelle Camp, brought him to SNIT. We footed all the bills throughout the surgery and everything. So we've been helping a lot of the former players.
Do the foreign players contribute to such funds?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They do. Even notable businessmen who are not into football, they do sometimes also contribute.
Okay.
Through our president, Samis Osekufo. He belongs to the East Legon Executive Clubs. Yeah. So sometimes he reaches out to them and they do some contributions to help. Because the union is actually for current players.
Okay.
So we do all these things out of our own will. And that's why we do it through individual contributions.
Okay. Let's go into Africa. I just seen that the CAF Champions League draw had been done. Group A, you have RS Berkane from Morocco, Pyramids of Egypt, Rivers United from Nigeria, and Power Dynamos from Zambia. So one Southern African country, one West African from Nigeria, and then two North Africans. The dominance is very obvious. Yeah. Now in Group B, Al Ahly of Egypt, Young Africans of Tanzania, Asfa of Morocco, and JS Kabylie of Algeria. Again in the group, three North Africans in there. Group C, Mamelodi Sundowns, South Africa, Al Hilal SC, Sudan, MC Alger, Algeria, FC Saint of Eloy, Lupopo, and DR Congo. So these are the other teams. There's still a North African team in that group. Yeah. Then in Group D, ES Tunis, that's Tunisia, Esperance Sportif de Tunis. Yeah. Then Simba SC in Tanzania. Atletico Petroleus from Angola, and then Stade Malien, another North African in there. Yeah. So probability of North Africa winning the Champions League is extremely high. Yeah. What do you make of this? That, there's no Ghanaian team.
It's sad, but then...
this is Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
It's fair, because...
we don't deserve to be there.
Yes. If you look at the rate of investment that all these countries have put into the sport, we are yet to get there. We have to be honest to ourselves. When Kotoko and Bebiani Gold Stars qualified, I was on one of the media houses, and I said that it's good that we've qualified, at least because we are a notable football nation. It's good that we've qualified. We should try as much as possible to get into the group stages. But as to winning, we are far, far, far away from winning. Because if you look at where these clubs that you've mentioned, where they are, the salaries that they pay their players, the kind of comfort they give to their players, we are nowhere near. What came here and they were sleeping at Kimpiski. Each player, one player, one room. You understand? So this alone, the player has no reason not to perform. And they are paying players $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. They are paying sign-on fees in hundreds of thousands. So, they will always attract the best players. They will always attract the best players, and their team will continue to be strong and stronger. But in Ghana here, we are actually struggling to even pay players continuously for the whole year. Some few clubs are doing well, and I have to commend Randiabe out of Lions. We've never had issues with them. So I don't know how much he pays his players, but he pays on time, and he's never had any issue from his players. So there are few clubs that are doing well, and we encourage all the others to do that. And that's why we want the FA to actually stamp up their authority to make sure that players are being paid their salaries. And this should come from the sponsorship money that is going to be paid to the players. Out of that, the minimum wage amount should be kept at the FA and paid to the players monthly. In this way, you know that even though it's not much, but then that money will go to the player at the end of the month. He will not go 2, 3, 4 months without salary. Yeah. This is a step ahead for us to start doing something. If we do this, the talents are there. Talents we cannot rule out. It is there. We just have to make sure we few things, factors around that will help them to perform should be put in place. So, we are not close to what the South Africans and the North Africans are doing. You see, out of West Africa, I think we have only two clubs.
Yeah.
The Nigerian club and the Malian.
And the
Malian club.
Malian,
Look at what Tanzania is doing recently. Yanga and Simba.
Zambia as well.
They are investing into the sport. That is the only way, Fiifi.
And a lot of Ghanaian players migrating to Tanzania.
Yes, that is the only way. That is the only way. Football is now business. They are running football clubs with business models. And it's working. It's paying off. Look at Morocco. It's not a fluke. They've won the World Cup, the U20 World Cup recently. Their women, they've won the WAFCON for 4 consecutive times. So look at how much money they've pumped into the sport. Are we ready to do that?
Even infrastructure.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We are not ready to do that. So we applaud government. They are doing well, to be very honest, but they can do more because we cannot leave this to the clubs alone. The clubs cannot. But they also have a responsibility that if government is going to pump in money, those monies should be used for the right cause. We don't want to see the situations where club owners will be making personal properties at the expense of player welfare. That will be very, very bad. And this is why some of us are advocating that the FA should make sure that they take that control of salary payment out of the clubs. They should have it at the FA and make sure that players are paid the minimum amount of salary.
But the FA has too much on his hands already.
Yes, but then the national team belongs to the nation. But they have the managerial role.
Yes.
They see to the management of the national teams. And if our national teams will do well, our local league should be doing well. If the local league should be doing well, then players should feel comfortable so that they can give out their best. You see, it's a chain. If we fail from the bottom, we will not achieve the goal at the end. Now that we've qualified for World Cup, we know the amount of money coming in. So the investment is not going to go just like that. But it needs to be managed properly. Otherwise, it is going to go down the drain.
Would you subscribe, for example, if there's a conversation about giving all the salaries of the players to the PFAG to manage? So yes, PFAG takes responsibility of paying the players.
Yes, if any sponsor or corporate body who is ready to invest in the sport wants to do this, yes, why not?
Because like you're saying, instead of the FA...
we can do it and can do it much better.
Instead of the FA paying the players on behalf of the clubs, for example, with this kind of money given to them, rather the money should be lodged to the PFAG. And the PFAG has a data of all the players, the salaries and everything. And then they do payments of the players at the end of every month.
Yeah, if all stakeholders agree to this, why not? Because I trust the PFAG to be better trustees.
Maybe the PFAG should put that into...
No, I don't think we will put that proposal ahead. It will not be the right thing to do. But then if any corporate body who is ready to invest into the sport is saying, look, I want the FA or I want the PFAG to be paying player salaries with this amount of money that I'm ready to pump in. So that money is coming specifically to take care of player salaries so that the clubs will not raise up issues. And when we raised this issue that the FA should be paying the players, some of them were agitating. They were not ready to agree because they said it's not the responsibility of the FA to pay players. But then it is not the responsibility of the FA to also raise money for you to pay your players. You understand? So they should understand that at the end of the day, it's Mother Ghana who should be the winner. It's Ghana football should improve. And that is what we are all striving for. Nobody is asking the FA to put the money over there and spend it. At the end of the day, it is your players that you have signed who are going to be paid. So that burden of
maybe there are trust issues.
Trust issues?
Yes.
At the FA?
Yes, maybe between the club owners.
I don't think so. I don't think the FA... if they don't pay players, we'll get to know. And that will be a disaster. So I trust the FA to do this job very well if the clubs agree that the minimum wage should be kept at the FA. It should be paid to players because they have trust issues. They have not been paying players. They get money all right, but they don't pay players. They rather do operations and ways and means and then leave the player out. But at the end of the day, you see, the funny thing is, after their ways and means and their operations, they still want the players to deliver.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So why don't you rely on your ways and means and your operations to win the games for you? So the key actors of the game are the players. So you have to make sure they are okay before you do your extra operations and your ways and means. But here we see operations comes ahead of
player welfare.
Yes. But then, if the player goes there and he doesn't perform, you will not go and blame your operations and your ways and means. Rather, you go and blame the player, which doesn't make sense.
Do you think Garka is a disappointment?
I wouldn't say disappointment. Disappointment is too strong a word, but I would say they are not doing their best. To be very honest, Garka needs to wake up. They need to wake up.
Because all these welfare
issues, body for the clubs.
Yes.
It's a welfare body for the clubs. So I think they should do better.
Because even with this payment, as we mentioned, Garka should probably be even the best position.
The problem is there's a huge conflict of interest. The officials of the Garka are all club owners.
Yes.
They are the same people who are not paying players. So it becomes difficult
that's true.
to talk about this issue. It's just like the FA. Most of people there are club owners. So sometimes they don't support certain decisions that is in the interest of the sport because it goes against them. Me, for instance, a lot of club owners, they don't like me for the fact that I fight for the interests and right of players. Not that I've wronged them or I've been disrespectful to any of them, no. The only reason is we recently met them a couple of months ago. The PFAG met the FA, and the FA president, Kate, he came with the ESCO members, and he put a question to them right in their faces that you've always been mentioning this boy, that he's troublesome, he's done that. Today he's here in the meeting. I want you to talk. What has this boy done? And none of them could talk. You understand? So they just have to be honest to themselves and be fair. We are all doing this in the interest of Ghana football, not for my personal interest.
Yeah.
I mean, the players there are not my family members. They are not my kids. But then we just want to give back to the same sport that has made us. We feel proud to do that. And I mean, when I'm able to solve a problem for a player, I feel very, very proud. There are a lot of Ghanaian players out of the country who have problems, and we've been there for them. And we've been able to retrieve a huge amount of money for them. I remember one of the players had a case against Zamalek. I don't want to mention his name because of the amount involved. We came in and we were able to retrieve back $1 million for him in the case against Zamalek. So you see, we take pride in that. If you're able to help this place, and we want to do that, charity begins at home.
A lot of our players who go into North Africa hardly do well.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't move out at the right time. Because it's a whole lot of internal factors and reasons that push the players out. In the case of Albert Amoa, Kotoko needs the money. The boy also needs the money. The boy needs the terms and the conditions over there. So you see, even though the fans would want to have Albert Amoa here because they look up to him when they go to the stadium, Kotoko needs the money to run the club. And the boy also feels that he also needs to do something for himself. We're talking about players retiring and then getting into difficulties. So at the time that the strength is there, the energy is there, and you are not able to make something meaningful out of it, it becomes extremely difficult. Then you begin to curse yourself after football that you've not been able
because
to.
Because if you really take a good look at the Ghanaian players who go to North Africa, I mean, if you take out people like Lord Oscar, George Arthur, Joao Chiri, Beckwin, out of the top of my head, these are the four I can remember. Yeah. Right.
Felix
Abuaji, yes, they call him Abu Gai.
Yeah.
You know, these are just
There's one boy, Akwete Mensah.
These are just but a few of the players who have gone into North African teams and have excelled.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the times...
You know why? Because they went there at the right time. They were matured enough. So they went there when they were ready for the league. But now what we see is, I mean, a player does well 1 year. Of course, he gets double figures in goals. He will attract the interest. But then you have to be honest to yourself that, I think I should be able to stay 1 more, 2 more years in the season to make sure that I go at the right time. But then, if he looks at the salaries, They don't even come on time. And he's been offered $10,000 or $15,000 a month. He will run away.
Yeah.
Because he needs to think about his future. He needs to make something out of the job that is. So it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. We don't move out to those areas at the right time. As you rightly said, even some of them go there and salaries are not paid.
Yeah.
We sit at the PFAG and we handle those cases. So you could see that even if players are paid a little bit promptly here, the salary comes on time, they wouldn't even rush. Some of them would not rush to go out there, because when they go out there, it's look, Abetama, we all wish him well. But trust me, it will be tough. Because we know how these North African countries behave.
Because if you don't
2 years
perform
ago,
in just a little while...
2 years ago, the Bidema striker, what's his name? The one with the dread.
Yes.
He also went to Libya, right?
Escaped me. Yeah, he went to Libya.
Where is he now?
Wow.
You see? So, but then, you might not see him with the sporting evidences, but maybe back home, he's been able to do something. So that is at least. You cannot lose both. I mean, you win one, you lose one.
Because he's going for $20,000 a month. You know. Next season, $25,000 a month. Signing on fee, I hear, is about $200,000. So that's a fortune.
This is the bigger problem.
That's
so
a fortune.
it's player exodus has been a huge hurdle to jump over. We need to strategically do something about it.
Well, if you just tuned in, this is the Sporty Drive, and I'm having a beautiful chat with Yusif Chibsah. I'm sure you all remember Yusif Chibsah, Ghana number 6. That's how we used to call him. Ghana number 6. Yeah. He played for King Faisal and then played for Kumasi Asante Kotoko as well. You captain Kotoko, right?
Yeah,
you captain Kotoko, one of the fine captains of Kotoko. Were you captain when Hearts of Oak beat you 4-0?
No,
it was I think it was Poku, Kojo Poku. Was it? No, not Mahala.
I think it was.
There was this other short guy who was captain of the team when Hearts beat Kotoko 4-0.
No, it was Ablodi, I think.
No, it wasn't Ablodi. Was it Ablodi?
Yeah, I think so.
When Hearts beat them 4-0?
Yeah.
Would they ever get the revenge on that 4-0?
Yes.
When?
Our time we should have, but we were close. It was 3-0, and then another one was 3-1. We came very, very close. But I think one day it's going to happen.
Do you look forward to it?
I look forward to it coming Sunday.
Coming Sunday?
Yes. If he's listening to us, Sunday we'll whip you for. Mark this somewhere. You know, we are warming up. You saw
Call Amankwa on the line. Okay.
I wanted him here today. He's sick.
What?
He's lying. He's lying.
He's not well.
Amankwa is not sick. He's scared because he saw we won 4-1. 4-2 a few days back, and his team is struggling to score goals, so they are scared.
Okay, so if
come Sunday, we'll beat us for
Hey, how does it feel? 24 countries will be lined up in December. The national anthems will be played of all these countries, and Ghana will not be part.
It's bad. Fiifi, it's bad because I mean, if you talk about football in Africa, you cannot rule out Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Mali. But now it's changing. Now it's North Africans who are dominating. And it's not a fluke. They deserve it. Because
and surprisingly, you're having other countries like Cape Verde and
exactly. They've really worked for it. It's quite disappointing, but it's not too late. We just have to pick our pieces together. We just have to learn from it. You know, we did not go to AFCON, but then we'll be able to qualify for the World Cup. So next time, let's make sure that we right the wrongs, and then we qualify for AFCON and then qualify to the World Cup as well. Nothing is impossible, Fiifi, but then it also doesn't happen on a silver platter.
The African resurgence is becoming something else because it looks like all the countries in Africa are gearing up for, you know, things like the World Cup qualifiers and all that. Did it surprise you that Cape Verde qualified ahead of Cameroon?
No. I was not surprised.
Why?
Because if you see from the beginning of the qualifiers, if you see the way Cameroon was performing and the way the other countries were performing. Football today is not like it used to be. There's been intercultural exchanges, families, how do I put it?
Like migration issues?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we have mixed race,
naturalization
and stuff like that. So every country who has decided to take football seriously and to put the right things in place, infrastructure, and put policies, strategies, and then they remain disciplined to it, they will achieve their results. I mean, it's been proven out there. So I'm not surprised Cape Verde qualified ahead of Cameroon.
Right. Ghana is going to the World Cup, God willing. We'll be there in June. On the 5th of December, there's the draw that is coming up in the States where, we'll get to know where we will be and what group we'll be in. Which teams would you like us to avoid?
Well, Fiifi, we should be ready for any team that has qualified because all those countries that have qualified are potential winners. You cannot rule out any country.
Including Ghana?
Yes.
Potential winner of the World Cup?
Yeah, potential winner. Why not? We've qualified for the World Cup. So, I mean, we have the potential to be there. So, but then, it all depends on our preparation. We need to prepare very well. So, for me, we should be ready for any country. You just mentioned Cape Verde qualified ahead of Cameroon.
Yeah.
So, if you sit here and you say you want to avoid Argentina, Brazil, Germany, you might be surprised by a small nation who you've undermined. But how many times have we lost to Comoros?
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, in tournaments of this nature, you would know better. In tournaments of this nature, you want a certain navigation where...
I understand, but when you see, we need to tune our mind. We need to have the right attitude and mentality, and that is by preparing for all country. And in 2000, and which World Cup did we held Germany to a 2-2 draw.
2014.
And they ended up winning the tournament.
2014,
You understand?
And it was the best game of the tournament.
Yes. Yes, so if I say we are potential winners, we can be...
But the quality we have then is not the same that we have now.
It's not the same, I agree. But then preparation needs success. We should prepare for it. We have a couple of months ahead of us to prepare. I mean, Ghana, we have abundance of talents out there. We just have to make sure we cast wide our scouting network and make sure we call up players who actually deserve, players who are ready, I mean, to do the job. That is the most important thing. Your call-ups are 50-60% success for you. If you do the right call-up, you're almost through. If you do the wrong call-up, then it's a disaster. So we just have to make sure we do the right call-up, players that are fit, players that are ready to die for the nation, because sometimes it's not only about the fitness and the talent. The determination and the commitment needs to be there. So we should get our call-ups right, and then we'll be able to go as far as we can. Morocco at the last World Cup went to the semis.
Yeah.
And if you compare them to our players at the previous World Cup or previously, I mean, we can also get there. We were close in South Africa. Yeah. So we are able, we can get there.
And as Thompson sat where you are sitting right now, and said that he wants us to avoid Spain, Brazil, we can play them. England, we can play them. You subscribe?
No, I remain to my submission earlier on. For me, I think we should be ready for any country at all. So the World Cup is a couple of months ahead. As he said, we should avoid Spain. If they are not lucky and they have a lot of injuries in their team, they will come with a depleted squad.
And we can beat them.
And that makes them weak. So there are a whole lot of factors that contributes into winning a game. So let's just prepare ourselves. You are as good as, or you can deceive people, you cannot deceive yourself. You can trust yourself very, very well.
You think that the technical team should be beefed up a bit more?
It will not be a bad idea. It will not be a bad idea. Yes, I mean, to strengthen it up, yes. Why not?
Which areas of our team do you think must also be strengthened?
Our attack, I think we need to be scoring some goals. Our laterals also needs strengthening. Midfield, I think Zibo did a good job recently, but then we should have one or two players that we can actually rely on. Our starting 11, our bench should be as good as the starting 11. This is the World Cup we're talking about. So I think our laterals, our attack, and then our centre backs as well.
Okay. I mean, the name we're all trying to remember was Jonathan Soa, right?
Jonathan Soa.
We're trying to remember all of it. Inko, thank you for that one. Now, let me pick your mind on, this thing about a lot of controversy came around players who did not play in the qualifiers and should either not or be invited to the national team for the World Cup. I mean, in recent times, people like Edin Ketia's name have popped up, Hudson Odoi, Amuzu, all those boys, their names have popped up because there seemed to be some willingness to play for the team after we qualified for the World Cup. What's your take on this assertion that players who did not play in qualifiers, even though historically there's a lot of showing that there are a lot of players who did not play in qualifiers, various World Cups, yet they were at the World Cup. Habib, all those guys in 2006 didn't play in qualifiers, but they were at the World Cup.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I don't want to restrict myself by saying for the fact that they did not partake in the qualifiers, they should be ruled out. I want to stick to my stand that we should call players that are ready, players that are fit, and we believe that they will be able to deliver for us to achieve our goal. So if a player did not take part in the qualifiers and he is currently in top shape, and we feel that he will be useful to help us achieve our goal, I mean, why not? As long as he's a Ghanaian and he qualifies to play for the national team, I mean, it's a journey, so along the line, some will drop, others will join the bus. So I don't want us to restrict ourselves to say for the fact that, because I was part of the 2006 World Cup team from day one here, qualifiers, preliminary stages, till the last game in Cape Verde. But at the World Cup, I was a standby player. And some people who they never played in a single game, they were there. So, I mean, we should not restrict ourselves to the reason that he wasn't part of the qualifiers, so he should not. If he's in good shape and he's a Ghanaian and he qualifies to play for the national team, and the technical team feels that he will be able to help us to achieve our goal, to add value, I mean, why not? Let's extend our hands to him.
So what about those, so there's a difference between those who did not take part just in the qualifier, either by way of maybe they had not hit any form or anything, and then those who refused to join the team because they were expecting that they could play for other countries, and yet that didn't materialize, and therefore then they want to do a U-turn. That's the difference.
Okay, yes, there's difference in that. As to the second one, they should wait after the World Cup. For me, I think, because we extended a call-up to them, and then they denied it, thinking they could get the opportunity from other countries. And so, if they are ready now, for the fact that we are going to the World Cup, I think they should wait. After the World Cup,
they can
join.
Okay.
This is fair.
Yeah. There's a guy called Joe, is it Champong? He plays for Chelsea. He's a very young guy, 19-year-old boy centre-back. People have started calling for his inclusion to the team. Have you watched him?
Joe Champong.
Chelsea.
I've watched few games of Chelsea. I think I watched their game against Kotoko.
No, not Brecum, Chelsea.
Chelsea in England.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, if he's a Ghanaian, right?
Yeah, he's a Ghanaian.
All his is he holding dual citizenship?
I'm not sure, but I think his father is Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, so at the end of the day, the technical handlers should look at it, and then, like I said, they should assemble the best that we can boast of, and then make sure that anybody that comes on is going to add value, because at the end of the day, they will be judged by the decisions that they do. I mean, he's doing well. I've seen that boy you're talking about. So they should compare him to the players that we have already and see which of them deserves to be there. At the end of the day, football is about form. Yeah, so if you get into the World Cup and he's still in good shape and he's better than those we have, I mean, why not? But if those there are also better than him, they are in good shape. I mean,
is any of your players in the current Black Stars?
Yeah, recently, the last two qualifiers, one of the local boys, Prince Osu.
Okay, Prince Osu.
Yeah, he was invited. Some of them have been in and out. Nicholas Opoku has been in and out. So we're looking to see the final squad.
Where is Nicholas Opoku?
He's in Turkey now.
Okay.
Kashim Pasha.
Okay. Another potential, eh?
Yeah. Huge potential. Yeah. So let's see if the technical analysts feel that, I mean, he could add some value. Why not? But I think he's been there. We all know his qualities. So,
yeah.
I mean, if he gets the call up, I will not be surprised.
As much as you are into very much into player management and scouting and all of that, are you looking forward to probably doing an academy of a sort?
I will not rule it out completely. But if I want to do
something that can rival the right to dream.
If I want to do, I want to do it very well. So I'm not ruling it out completely.
But it's something that you have thought of. Yeah. How's your brother doing anyway?
He's doing very well.
Faisal, right?
Yeah. He left town yesterday.
Oh, okay. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
The same
sharp.
The same parents?
Yeah. Same parents.
Okay. He look a bit different from you.
How?
Maybe he's taller.
Yeah, he's taller.
Yes.
My mom is tall.
Okay. Is the younger one or the older one?
He's younger.
He's a younger one.
Yeah.
I like him. He's a nice, very nice guy.
And he's a bit light skinned.
Yes.
My dad is light skinned.
Oh, okay.
I used to be light skinned.
And what happened? Before I let you go, let's look at finally Kotoko Hearts on Sunday.
Yeah.
We cannot end this conversation.
I wouldn't have left if we don't talk about this game.
Without a Kotoko Hearts.
I needed Amankwameku here today. Please try and get me and Amankwameku here in this studio.
I said, we pray that Amankwa will be ready for Friday or something.
He's listening to us. Amankwa, why should I also yare?
Find me Amankwa. Find me Don Bote.
Yes, and bring Don Bote and Chastela. So me, Chastela, Amankwa and Don Bote.
Let's find them for Friday. And then let's see how it will go against Heart of Oak and Kotoko on Sunday.
This time we'll finish them. We'll beat them.
Hey, sir.
Fiifi, I'm throwing a challenge, yo.
Hey.
We want the supporters to fill the stadium. Beam. We'll finish House of Folk.
Because you are finishing House of Folk. At the Transport Stadium?
Yes.
So much time was it 4? Hey.
Our friends there, they are listening to me. Their coach is my friend.
Oh, yes, of course.
And their technical advisor to the board is also my friend.
Watara?
Yes.
You played under Watara, right?
No,
you play under Watara?
No, I did not play under him.
Okay.
I came when he left.
Okay.
I came to Kinfesa when he left, and I came to Kotoko when he left.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But as for the head coach, is your body, I know. Yeah. Charlie, I want so much Hearts for Nilo. Hey. Hearts have the Black Star number 1 goalkeeper.
Oh, and so?
Hey.
Yeah. Black Star is different. Black Star the engine idea. It's about Black Star or idea. About Hearts there is different.
Sir,
Hearts Nikotoko they different.
If you look at current form of the two teams, I mean, you think even though we know they've lost some spark. I mean, there are other teams that are also doing well and all that alongside in the league. I mean, so that the last couple of years, I mean, Kotoko and Hearts haven't won the league in the last couple of years, except that Kotoko won the FA Cup last year and all that. You think that the Kotoko Hearts, we know they say has no form guide, but you think on Sunday, looking at the last games, yesterday, Hearts losing to Baseke and then Kotoko winning 4-2. You think it's a good booster for Kotoko to enter this game and win? Yeah,
I think so. But as you said, Hearts Kotoko, it's a different ball game altogether. And honestly, I had the opportunity to watch them during the top 4. And I've watched a couple of games since the season commenced. Both teams, both clubs have a good team, to be very honest. And I enjoy the top 4. I like the way they play.
You beat Kotoko again in the top 4. How's beat Kotoko in the top 4?
Yes. I think it was, they beat them. But then, it's a different ball game altogether. And we expect to see or to enjoy good football. That is first and foremost, ahead of the scoreline. As for the scoreline there, it's afterwards. But we want to enjoy the game. And looking at the few games that they play so far, House of Folk and Kotoko, I think they are playing good football. I watched Kotoko's game, the last game. I watched, and I like the way they kept their composure. They were not
against Karela.
Yes, they were not under pressure. They were not under any. Recently, we've seen a lot of pressure from the fans, even after the striker left.
Yeah.
But then they were able to put their things together and then to exhibit good football. Look at the 2 goals that Jehu scored. I mean, fantastic goal. So we need to first and foremost witness a very good game from both sides. House and Kotoko, they should come and exhibit good football for the fans to enjoy themselves. And then afterwards, we can talk about the scoreline, where Kotoko will beat them with Didi is doing a good job with the team. Zito is also doing a good job.
It's becoming more like a rivalry between Didi and Zito. Yes,
it has to be.
Yes, some interesting rivalry, between Zito and him, and I think that,
trust me, both clubs should keep this group of players together for a while. They should. They have to. I mean. They say I'm not on Albert. Says Kaba.
So Tanzania BBPM CCL.
They say Albert Bako Koskaba. Intermo fan share chiri. No one to keep putting me together. I'm sure we I mean, they will not rush in going out to those.
Or running the football club, and it's simple.
It's not easy. Fiifi.
I know. It's not good idea because I was part of the management of Gamba All Blacks at the time.
It's not easy at all.
It's not simple.
It's a huge responsibility.
It's
a huge, and that's why we are calling for intervention of the government. I mean, it's high time. Those countries, Tanzania, Neo, Kenya, government is playing a huge role. Huge role. There's a player I transferred from here to Egypt, and the payment of the transfer fee was made here.
Wow.
It was made here. You see, by an Egyptian company representing the club over there. So, I mean, we have to do things properly, make sure we put good strategies and policies in place to be able to attract corporate Ghana again.
Yeah.
At the moment, we are not that attractive to them because there's been dents here and there, betting issues. So, we advise that all stakeholders should play their role very well. Recently, the FA did announce that they've improved the welfare of referees, which is a plus.
Yeah, it's a very good thing.
We expect to see them replicating that on the field.
Some have started misbehaving already.
They should be sanctioned. You see, Fiifi, the only way for the African to understand things or to be disciplined is by severe sanctions.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
That is the only way.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, I mean, they will take things for granted, and they will mess everybody's effort up.
True.
We need to sanction them. I mean, the referees manager should be up to the task. Now they are being paid very, very well. They have no excuse, and they have no reason to mess up games like that.
True. Well, Yusif Chibsah, I'd like to thank you for your time this evening. We know that it's been long in coming, but we hope that we can catch you again. I'm sure you'll be in town for a while.
Yeah, I'm around.
Okay.
And I'll be expecting producer to bring me and Amankwa Mriku.
Bring Amankwa.
If you don't bring Amankwa Mriku,
bring Amankwa and then see if you can find Dadadong and then Charles Taylor. So that Friday we can have some good time. Let's see. I mean, maybe apart from Chibsah, we can also have some old Kotoko players to also join, and then we can have a good conversation here on Friday. All right. Yusif, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for your time.